Hello friends, your friend Rakesh, all the way from Toronto, Canada. And the topic for today is the power of non-conformity. So let's have a little one-liner. What is conformity? So in my understanding, the conformity is doing what is expected when you are with the majority. In other words, that you are following the instruction from the society, from the friends, from the family, nothing wrong into it. Then you are conforming. But if you are conforming in today's world, you have to pay the price, and sometimes a big price. So let's first get into it. If you are non-conformist, what are the advantages? So being a non-conformist, you get the power to achieve recognition. You get the power to prevent stagnation. Sometimes you feel stagnant because you are following the norms, the social norms. Get born, grown up, go to school, college, university, get married, job, kids, following it. Nothing wrong into it, but sometimes you feel stagnant. And there are so many social disturbances today, depression, and so many things are popped up. And being a non-conformist gives a power to try out a few things differently. And that will add you some kind of adventure in your life. Yeah. So as I said, being a non-conformist, you get power to achieve recognition. You get power to prevent stagnation. You get power to get your voice to express yourself. Not only that, you may become very rich also. Because in general, non-conformists, they have tendency to take a risk. And as someone said, the biggest risk in life is not to take the risk. When you take the risk, you try a new thing, chances are there that you will hit that jackpot. That's something which will bring you a lot of money. Yeah. So let me share that when the first time in my life this non-conformity enters, I still remember very, very vividly. As I mentioned a few times, that coming from little, the poor family condition from that little village, moving to city and then Delhi, then Middle East, and then the US. And in the process, I got a call to attend the interview for my Canadian immigration in New Delhi. So I flew from LA, San Francisco, LA to New Delhi. I attended the interview and I was told from the visa officer that it might take another month or so, all the medical other formalities. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to Canada, let's settle now. Let's get married, which I've never thought of. So I still remember in the Santipath, came out from the embassy and lie down on the green grass. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to Canada now. It's a beautiful country and let's marry it. So coming from the Brahmin Hindu family from that little village, very, very traditional family of conforming. Not my family, whole society is conforming to the norms and traditions and conventions. But I said, no, let's try out whatever my heart says. So I went to some newspaper offices and I gave the advertisement for my soul partner to the newspaper. And I got married from there. So what I'm trying to say, that was not the convention, never been followed, at least in my village. I'm not saying that I'm proud of that, but what I'm trying to share, that was a non-conforming way to get married. And that non-conformity enters into my life first time. It happens before also, but that's what very visible to me. Yeah. So as I said, some advantages being a non-conformist. Now, let's see some disadvantages of being a conformist. If you're conforming to the norms, what are the disadvantages? Today's age, middle age crisis. One of the live example being a conformist. Because what you said, what you did, you got the job and you stick to that job. And suddenly, because of these new changes happening, you are not able to cope up with upgrading your skills. And suddenly you feel threatened that I might lose my job. And that is happening. Now the middle age or above, when the people are losing their job because of the layoff or whatever the reason our company closed down, it's very difficult to get into the system back. Yeah? Because if you're non-conformist, you are open to try out few things in parallel with your career, and you'll find many other ways to fit into the system. But if you're conformist, you go very conventional way, get your job and stick to it fully. Nothing wrong into it, but if you lose or something, it'll be very difficult to get back into the system. So that is a disadvantage being a conformist. The second one is the generation gap. The generation gap is widening, ladies and gentlemen. Our kids, they are so well versed with the news, with the social media, with the technologies. And we said, oh, this is not for us. So you don't know, or you know very little, they know too much. So before it was generation gap just because of the age, and very few things were changing. Almost the same car, same food, same travel, and same thing. But now everything is changing so fast. So if you're not going to cope up with the fast changes, but your next generation is coping up, is big. So most of the time when you are conformist, you don't want to change. You want to stay in the same way with very few little modifications. So the generation gap is too wide, and you will feel left out within your own family and society. That is a disadvantage of being a conformist. Another thing, as I said, if you're conformist, and suppose you become like 50 or maybe more or 60, and for some reason, if you got layoff, you lose your job, or company closes down, or the technology you've been skilled not needed anymore, it's very difficult to fit back into the system. But if you're non-conformist, you may find with the age something different. I've been always in IT, but now I'm in the business coaching, in the public speaking, and I don't know what's not. Maybe politics. One day, maybe become member of parliament in Canada. Who knows? But I'm open. Because I'm not conformist. I'm not conforming to one tradition. Oh, I'm in IT, so I will stay in IT and retire. No. Life is too short, and we get only one life. Let's try out something different. Yeah. And I would like to say one great quote from Jeff Kennedy. And Jeff Kennedy said so beautifully about the conformity. And you know what he said? He said, conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. Again, I will reiterate. Conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth, by Jeff Kennedy. He was so right. At least I agree with that. So now, these are, being disadvantaged, having a conformity in your life. Today, who is needed in the marketplace? Extrovert. Introvert has very less chance. Because in general, most of the exceptions always there, but in the most of the cases, the introvert, they are conforming people. An extrovert, they are non-conformist. They are open to the challenges, to the new things. And that's what the workplace need. So they prefer hiring this new breed. Why? Because most of the technologies which are going to be placed in corporations, in the companies, in the workplace, they've been developed in the last 5 to 10 years. But if you have 25, 30 years of experience, most of your experience is not valid anymore. Unless you develop the skills how to deal with the people, which very few people do. Yeah? So the extrovert, they are needed at the marketplace, and most of the extrovert majority, they are non-conformist. Yeah? I would like to share my second story, which is coming from the non-conformist mindset. I decided to retire at 45. Why? Keep working in IT and live with the family and same IT, get experience more. That's fine. But I said, no, one life. Why not try out different things? And I decided, IT and it's okay, and that's fine. Let's try out something else. And public speaking was my passion. And I wanted to reach out to the people. And suddenly this business coaching came up, which I've never thought of. And I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying meeting strangers, meeting the people. But if I can teach something to them so that they can leave their job, or maybe in the job with the less efforts, make more money and have more free time, I love that. So that's what coaching I provide to them. So that is the second non-conformity enter into my life, getting retired early at 45. How many? Very few. But now, very few from South Asian background. But in the North American, there are so many retiring at 30, 35. That is a new norm. Because they are non-conformist. They don't want to. When 2008, 2009, that big depression came in the US, after that, everything has changed. A majority of this new American, call it millennials, who born in 80s and, around that time, they think, no, doing job is not the way. We have to become entrepreneurs, something start our own. And that comes from the non-conformist background. Soon, with the time, the age we are entering, this robotics, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, we will not have any option, but we are forced to non-conformist. There won't be any option anymore. Yeah. So yeah, but with being a non-conformist, you will lose so many things. I still remember, and I don't feel any shame to share with you guys, my extended family friends. Then when I got married with this newspaper, even till today, my parents and my brother and sister, my siblings, still they host kind of not the grudge, but they don't feel very comfortable with my decision. So you have to lose so many things. It might a relationship. It might many other things. Yeah. So there's a cost to pay being a non-conformist. Yeah. So yeah, so these are the few things, you have to, kind of bear with that. And you may create so many enemies, or you lose so many friends when you become non-conformist, because you are trying to do something which most of your friends or circle have not done yet. And they will not feel comfortable with it. Many might turn out to become like your social enemies. Yeah. So I would like to say my last quote here from great Winston Churchill. And he said, you have enemies? Good. That means you have stood up for something sometime in your life. Yeah? Again, you have enemies? Good. That means you have stood up for something sometime in your life. Yeah? Big one. One more example I want to give, non-conformist. I love this non-conformist. You might have heard about Steve Jobs. When Steve Jobs entered into the market, what was the norm? To provide the product and service to the client? Do the survey. So many marketing companies being deployed to do the survey in the market, and what is needed, provide that. What customer need, create and provide that. But what Steve Jobs, the policy was, customer, they don't know what they need. I will create something customer has no clue. And ladies and gentlemen, that first non-conformist product he delivered, nobody has heard. And that was iPod, then iPad, then iPhone, then iMac, then iTunes, and many more. This is true non-conformist, great Steve Jobs. Salute, sir. You have given hope and future to so many millions and billions. I salute you. So that is the power of being a non-conformist, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So with that, as always, salute to you. The call of action, just think yourself. Did you non-conform on anything? And what is, that non-conforming on this particular area going to give you satisfaction, going to remove your stagnation, going to give you a voice, going to give you recognition, going to give you a power, going to make you rich. Not only that, after taking that non-conformist action, going to help so many others to get motivation and inspiration because of your step, your turn. Do it. Sit down 10 minutes and just see that what you wanted to always do. But you know what is stopping you? Because nobody has done it in your family, in your society, in your friend circle. And that is stopping you to take that non-conformist approach and do it. Life is too short and you get only one life to live, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever is needed, be non-conformist. And as I said, soon the time is going to come. Being a non-conformist is not an option. Many things you did non-conformist way unknowingly. Many of us, we are immigrant and nobody has done in our previous generation. We took that step. It was out of the norm. Many people, they left the villages, went to the city out of the norm. In many families, their son and daughter got married into different caste and different religion out of the norm. Yeah? So with all, whatever you feel, do it. If you don't feel, don't do it. So thank you very much once again for listening to me. And I really salute you as always and love you all. And thank you once again for watching me. I'm feeling so happy now. In the beginning, I was getting 600-700 views, but now I get around 300 views. I have two channels. One is this is a profile channel I'm right now doing live, and one is the channel which comes to basically I do from my business page and then I share. So with both, I get around 300 views. So I'm feeling I'm delivering the speech and 300 people watching, and you are my friend. You are my follower, you are my fan, and I really, really love you. And give me a chance to do this every day. Please keep coming and watching and commenting and provide your feedback with that. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow with some other non-conformist idea and share. And see you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.